I have been searching for some answers, and one of them is being United Nations in Bangladesh. Precisely, few organizations that are operating inside Bangladesh in the name of UN and their activities. And I think these questions are just not my questions. These questions are coming from a lot of other people too. So my first question is the UN in Bangladesh is now a political party? So are they going to register for a political party in Bangladesh? I mean, there is an election commission now. They can register themselves as a political party, right? I mean, look at their activities. They have been politically moving in Bangladesh. They had a lot of resources engaged in Bangladeshi politics. And the recent display of what they did is absolutely amazing and disgusting, both in the same way. I understand that the UN now wants to get involved in Bangladesh in much more bigger way than they did before. But in doing so, they are actually participating in political narratives. They are building their own political narratives, siding with Jamaat, Shibir, radical terrorists, Yunus, and ICT. Even I think the ICT, International Crime Tribunal, is actually controlled by UN. The latest arrest warrants against a few army generals, 15 or 17 army generals, and a bigger list is coming as well. So this game, this play was perpetrated, planned, and executed by UN. So UN is the body that is actually behind ICT, that is actually behind Tajul Islam, behind Yunus government, and so on and so on. I think NCP is also their brainchild. Huma Khan, an active UN representative in Bangladesh, showed up in a press conference beside Tajul Islam, the chief prosecutor of ICT, while Tajul has been demanding the arrest for army generals. And today, I saw a news where UN's Volker Turk is urging to hand over the army generals to the civil court. Unprecedented. So the UN is now actively taking part in things that are not constitutional in Bangladesh. Bringing active army personnel in civil court is not constitutional. It's not even legal. Actually, the people that are active in army, whatever they do, their trial should run inside the martial court, not in a civil court. But UN is actually forcing this. So my question is, what happened to UN? What happened to Huma Khan? Well, in the past, you have seen me talking about some people from the UN, like Gwen Lewis and Huma Khan. I, talked about them repeatedly over and over again, not just after 5th of August and even before that. I tried to point out that, look, UN is playing a dirty game in Bangladesh, and now see, they're not even trying to hide it. They're not even feeling ashamed. Their moves are questionable. Their appearance are questionable. The way they are handling things, the way they are mingling with the radicals, Yunus's party, NCP, and all these things, especially the ICT, is very questionable, but they're not even hiding it. So I want to know, in which angle or according to which UN charter, Huma Khan's appearance beside Tajul Islam in that press conference and about ICT is legal or following any UN charter. How UN can push Bangladesh army or, build pressure on Bangladesh army to hand over the generals from the martial court to civil court. I know that there are a lot of experts on this, but can UN do this? UN has lost its relevance. Nobody gives a shit about UN anymore. Even the American president, Mr. Trump, always making fun of UN. And there are reasons behind it, I'm pretty sure. I didn't want to believe it. I always believed that the United Nations has always been, neutral. They are very dignified. They don't play games. They don't do social engineering. They are not a part of deep state. But the UN people in Bangladesh proved me wrong. They are part of some conspiracy. They are part of the, deep state game, whatever they're playing. And they are actively taking part in Bangladeshi politics. They are siding with some entities openly, shamelessly. It is understandable that UN wants more, influence in Bangladesh because since they're losing their relevancy, nobody takes them seriously, They are trying to be very serious in Bangladesh. They want to be more active in Bangladesh. And they want to control Bangladesh. They want to control the narratives in Bangladesh. They want to control the politics, in Bangladesh. They want to control the people who will run Bangladesh. They want to even engineer the election in Bangladesh, the upcoming so-called election on February, something like that. Huma Khan's appearance beside Tajul Islam in the press conference, is it legal? Is it a normal thing for UN to do? It's very questionable, and I think UN is losing their ground. Bangladeshi people don't give a shit about UN. No matter how hard they try, to, meddle in Bangladeshi business, Bangladeshi politics, no matter how hard they try to hide their conspiracies, to hide their involvement in all the conspiracies, all the killings. How come UN or Huma Khan or Gwen Louise never shared a statement about the people that were killed after 5th of August? So many police officers were killed, so many Army League activists were killed, a lot of Army League leaders died in the jail in a questionable way. Hundreds of journalists are being persecuted under Yunus regime. Right now, they're inside the jail. Has UN done anything about it? Any statement? There have been a degradation of law and order in Bangladesh. Women are getting raped. Children are getting raped every single day. People are getting murdered for extortion. I mean, these are all online. Minorities are being tortured. Their houses are being burned. Forget minorities, okay? The ordinary people, the other people, the majority, they're also in trouble. Human rights? Completely missing in Bangladesh. But wow, UN is not making a statement. Before 5th of August, there were always statement after statement after statement. Even somebody sneezes, UN will issue a statement. But what about now? So many people are dead, and UN took part in it. Anything that happened in July, August last year in Bangladesh, I think UN had a role. UN had a role in killing people, specifically Gwen Louise, Huma Khan, and their types of people. They played an active part while police were getting killed in Bangladesh. Even UN is actively trying to change the narrative, change the definition of fair election. They are not even including the word inclusive for the next election. The election will be fair and participatory, but they are not adding the word inclusive. They are actively trying to keep Army League, a major political party, out of the scene. UN is actively working with the people that do not believe in the freedom of Bangladesh. UN is actively being very anti-liberation. UN does not believe in the freedom of Bangladesh. UN does not believe in 1971 and whatever happened. They're siding with the terrorists. They're siding with the war criminals. They're siding with Pakistani narratives. They're siding with Jamaat Shibir. I mean, they're siding with all kind of wrong people, especially Yunus. And they're trying so hard to keep Army League out of the election, even going against their words of inclusivity, free and fair election. It doesn't work in Bangladesh. UN's rule in Bangladesh is completely different. Does UN have the guts to do the same thing in the US? UN can only flex their muscles in countries like Bangladesh. They try to act as a lion, but when they go to UK or USA, they become a cat, or rather a rat. Right now, UN is behaving like a lion, but actually they are a rat. They're selling off Bangladesh, they're selling off the people of Bangladesh, they're selling the liberation war of Bangladesh, completely denying the existence of the major political party, and they're pretending to be the well-wisher of Bangladesh. And appearing right beside Tajul Islam, the ICT chief prosecutor, who is actually a terrorist, who is actually a Jamaat Shibir propagandist, and is a key player in the whole July-August conspiracy. I don't think we will accept whatever UN says in the coming future. Today is not our day, of course, but maybe tomorrow, maybe next year, maybe after 5 years or 10 years. Still, we will not believe whatever UN says, because UN is a villain, and we will make sure the entire world should know it. Maybe we're starting right now, but this is not going to end. These people from UN, Huma Khan, Gwen Louise, and whatever they did, yeah, they will change. New people will come. But still, they will have to answer for their conspiracies in Bangladesh, and they will. Yes, we can't do much about it. Of course, who are we to, bring UN or these people from UN in accountability? We are nobody. But what we can do is telling these stories to millions of people, writing their activities in our history book, and talking to people, important people from one country to another, to talk about this and to show the people what UN is doing in Bangladesh. And I'm sure one day everyone will realize all these dirty games by UN in Bangladesh. And the day we get our country back, the day we free Bangladesh again, on that day, or from that day, UN will have a different story in Bangladesh. A story much, much more different than it is now, because it always starts from one, but eventually spreads over around the globe. And I hope they do understand this.